Hey guys, what's going on? It's Roth. I'm here at New York Comic Con with Scott. Hello, Scott. You
Hi.
were just in the Gotham panel.
Yeah, Gotham
What happened?
City. It's a place called Gotham City. It was cool. The whole cast was there pretty much, and the showrunner. Well, first of all, there was a mention of Harley Quinn.
I know, and you told me this, and this is what I wanted to pull out specifically.
Yeah.
Did they confirm that she's coming to the show, the
No.
character? Because this is just after there was this rumor, this report that Harley Quinn was not going to be in the Suicide Squad
Right.
movie.
Right. So basically, a fan asked, "Will we see Harley at some point?" And the response was, they didn't want to answer. And then finally, it was sort of said, "Well, we'll get there eventually."
We'll get there, but
So
that
it
sounds
was-
like a promise.
So that wasn't a denial, and he said it in front of however many thousands or hundreds. How many people are in that room? I don't know.
Many.
Yeah, a lot. More than 10. So, and then there was also a mention of Joker as well.
Right.
Because it was either the first or second episode, we saw a stand-up comedian, who's sort of killing joke stand-up comedian guy who everyone kind of thought, maybe that's going to wind up being the Joker.
Right, that was in the pilot,
Was that
and
the
then
pilot?
yeah, and then the big rumor was, they're going to allude to the Joker each episode with a different actor, and eventually one of them will actually be
Right.
the Joker.
And I'm not sure they have alluded each episode, have they? But
Hasn't felt like it to
no.
me.
So
Have they? I don't know. You guys tell us.
Yeah, I don't think they have. But so basically, the showrunner said it's probably not that guy because the Joker that they're going for. I mean, he didn't say it in these words, but this was the gist of it. The Joker they're going for probably wouldn't even be telling jokes yet.
Right.
So the implication would be that he was younger, maybe even the same age as Bruce Wayne. I
Maybe a
don't know.
kid,
Maybe
right?
a kid, yeah.
Maybe he's a kid who's picked on. Maybe he's a kid who's bullied.
Maybe
Maybe he's a
really-
kid who's bullied by Bruce. No, Bruce would never bully anybody. Did they say anything in terms of are there any characters at this point that are off limits? We've already seen. There's so many villains already on the show and coming.
No, they didn't really get into that. They were asked if it exists in the same universe as the Dark Knight films, though.
Right, okay.
And it doesn't.
It does not.
Of course, it doesn't. They said they love the Dark Knight films, and if it wasn't for the Dark Knight films, they wouldn't be here. But no, it does not. Definitively, it does not exist in that universe, and they said, and it can't.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure why it couldn't. They didn't really explain that. But
Well, it's not even really tonally similar to me. I
Depends
don't-
on which Dark Knight film. I don't know. That's a different conversation.
We'll be having that next. So talk a little bit about did they reveal anything? Did they tease some storylines that are coming up?
We saw a bit of the next episode, which is on I think tomorrow. So and it just basically picked up with Cobblepot, the Penguin, arriving at Gordon's apartment, and it seems as though there's going to be something of an alliance forming between Gordon and Cobblepot, as Cobblepot scratches and claws his way through the power structure of the underworld. And our own esteemed Eric Goldman, who moderated the panel, he actually asked a question. He said, well, penguins are known to eat fish.
Yes.
And Fish Mooney, Jada Pinkett, of course, is, what's her fate? Because her and Cobblepot have this sort of, rivalry now, I guess.
I don't even think I think it's just hate.
Hatred.
Yeah.
Out and out hatred.
Hate.
From foot massage to hate, basically, is where they went.
It's the usual trajectory.
No one ever gives definitive answers, but we were told that there will be a high body count or a lot of
Many.
carnage as Penguin rises through the ranks, and that was in a direct response to Goldman's question. So
well done,
Jada
Goldman. Thank
may
you.
be on her way out. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it seems like that's inevitable. This whole season is about the rise of the Penguin, yes, and then leading into, we assume, next season, the Riddler, yes.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure I would make that assumption, but you're
Well,
free
I just
to.
did.
There was one other thing which was cool, which is that there was talk about Alfred and how he has no idea how to be a parent, right? He wasn't trained for that, but they did say, well, why? We are going to find out why the richest man in the world would hire this particular person to take care of and guard his son.
Right.
So Alfred's going to turn out to be a complete badass.
Right, which is what we've been assuming the whole
Yeah,
time, that
yeah.
this is like the Marshall version
Yeah.
of Alfred, and that's why he does not know how to coddle, and which I think makes for hilarity. I know that some fans really don't like what they've done with Alfred. I think it's so funny and weird to
Yeah.
have him be like, stop being a brat. I'm sorry.
But also he apparently is going to start teaching Bruce
Okay.
how to fight also in an upcoming episode. So the earliest Batman training is going to come from Alfred,
All right.
which is kind of there's a nice symmetry to that, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
So what's your final takeaway from the panel? How are you feeling about the series moving ahead?
It's intriguing to see where they're going to go. We really didn't see anything beyond like the episode that's on tomorrow. So it's tough to say, but everyone's super enthusiastic, and they have a lot of big plans for the show. So hopefully it's going to all pan out.
All right, great. Well, thank you, Scott, so much
you.
for all things Gotham and New York Comic Con. Keep it locked right here to IGN.